On November 12, 1981, Space Shuttle Columbia blasted off from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida to begin the second shuttle mission, STS-2. But there was something special about this flight. Aboard the shuttle, hidden in Columbia's cargo bay, was a 905-pound robotic arm over 15 meters long. This was, of course, the Canadarm, arguably Canada's greatest contribution to space exploration. The Canadarm was designed, developed, and tested by the Canadian company Spar Aerospace. The arm was built at Spar Aerospace's Toronto plant. The Toronto-based company Dynacon Incorporated also helped to develop the main controls algorithms, and CAE Electronics Limited of Montreal provided the hand controllers and the control and display panels. The American company General Dynamics, whose headquarters are located at West Falls Church, Virginia, provided the graphite boom that provides a connection between the elbow and wrist joints in the arm, as well as the boom that connects the shoulder and elbow joints, while the software that controls and monitors the arm was developed by the Federal Systems Division of IBM in Houston, Texas. After the first Canadarm, Arm 201, was finished in February of 1981, it was signed over to NASA and then very, very carefully driven south from Toronto to Kennedy Space Center on Merritt Island in Florida. In June, the arm was integrated into the Shuttle Columbia, ready for deployment after the launch. After multiple delays, November 12th, the day of the launch, finally arrived. Less than 10 minutes after launch, the Canadarm was flying 291 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. But it looked as though the Canadarm might not get to be tested on this mission. A failed fuel cell meant the mission had to be shortened to 2 days from the original planned 5 days, so there wouldn't be time to test out the robotic arm. But the crew of STS-2 wasn't about to let the chance to test out the Canadarm slip away so easily, so they tried out the arm anyways, in the middle of the night, with no authorization from ground control. They woke up the next morning incredibly tired, but the two astronauts say that they never regretted staying up past their bedtime to play with the Canadarm. Canadarm number 201 performed exceedingly well on that first mission, and its relatives since that time have also met and exceeded all expectations. More than 90 shuttle missions have used a Canadarm over the course of the entire shuttle program. That's more than 2/3 of all the shuttle missions. And during that time, the 5 Canadarms have done everything from freeing clogged wastewater and knocking ice off the side of the shuttle to deploying satellites and moving around spacewalking astronauts. They've been so successful, in fact, that the decision was made to build another Canadian robotic arm that will be permanently attached to the International Space Station, the Canadarm 2. The Canadarm 2 weighs 1,641 kilograms. That's heavy. That is more than the weight of our entire class put together, and Mr. Robertson, and all the desks too, and probably the computers. Could you lift that? I seriously doubt it. And neither can the Canadarm 2 itself, and neither could the Canadarm. In fact, both robotic arms cannot support their own weight, at least on Earth. In space, though, everything's weightless, so no biggie. The coolest thing about the Canadarm 2 is that it can move all over the ISS to reach many different parts of the space station. How does it do this? The two ends of the arm are each equipped with latching end effectors, or LEEs, which provide power and transmit instructions to the arm through power date grapple fixtures, or PDGFs, on the outside of the station. But the neat thing is that only one latching end effector needs to be connected to a PDGF at a time, so the other end of the arm can grab onto another PDGF, and then the first end can let go of the first PDGF to grab onto a third one. In this way, the Canadarm 2 can go anywhere on the ISS that there are PDGFs for it to grab onto. STS-100 was the mission that brought Canadarm 2 to the International Space Station. Attaching the arm to the station was a very tricky piece of business that involved the shuttle Columbia's Canadarm, two spacewalking astronauts, and a lot of patience. The whole operation took 7 hours. Canada's Chris Hadfield was one of the two spacewalking astronauts, and he was commemorated for this with a coin printed by the Royal Canadian Mint. Once the arm was attached, however, the ISS had gained an incredible tool that has proved invaluable for maintaining the space station. Well, inside that station, astronauts to this day are working on experiments that could prove to be beneficial to all of humanity. The Canadarms have helped to make all of this incredible work